and Julie, you've been here decades. You got stuff to write about.
Don't age her like that. I felt some kind of way as soon as you said it.
Cut, reset. Julie, you've been here for more than 2 or 3 years.
That is true, and I agree with what you were saying about it would be naive to say we're just to speak in terms purely of optimism or pessimism and predict some drastic change. But I think, one change that I really feel in a tangible way is that there is a little bit of broadening of the discourse. Even that we have the show that Khalil is hosting, that Andrea, that you waded into the discourse and started writing pieces, 2 or 3 years ago, and that, the kind of things I'm talking about on an artist level, which are also happening. I was talking about R&B and hip hop, but I also have observed very closely this coalition building on a grassroots level that borrows from, strategies of the music industry and also borrows from strategies of political organizing that's happening in spaces that are focused on everything from the most mainstream of country pop to all the, every different offshoot of or less commercial, approach to music making in, folk and roots and Americana directions of people of color and queer folks, who have made their own decisions about what they're willing to put up with or what is worth it to them to work for. There are more voices that are registering in more ways right now. People can still choose to ignore that and proceed as though it's business as usual if they want to, but that is a thing that I feel more present in this town. And I think back to historical context, when it comes to talking about and covering music in Nashville, something that I sort of learned the history of and can still feel the residue of it with us even now is that the beginning of covering music in Nashville was sort of trade publications that were just a mouthpiece for for the music industry. It was just different kind of trade publications that were taking the official narratives. It was just kind of an extension of PR campaigns. And so there were generations and decades of that sort of unfolding and that being the expectation. And that means, when that's what you've got like an uncritical just amplifying of the story of success and, ambition and crossover and that kind of thing that the industry wants to tell about itself. And so, so we're not there anymore. I still very much feel, that is still an expectation that exists if you're operating too closely to the industry where the money is, and that's still, you can look around and see like a lot of corporately sponsored platforms and outlets. And it might feel like you're seeing the same story replicated over and over again. There's a reason for that, But there is a significant broadening of the conversation that should not be discounted because it matters.
There's so much more to explore, and we want you to join us on The Good Road.
For more in-depth content, meet us on the internet at thegoodroad.tv.
Hear more great stories, connect to organizations, and make sure you download our podcast, Philanthropology.